Due to circumstances beyond my control, it's Tuesday, the 11th day of April 2023. I am Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And here we go, television family. Another whiz-bang show for you today. Lots to touch on. Weather, pretty significant change from what we saw yesterday. Quite a bit of rain all over the Wenatchee Valley. I'll give you the rain totals for not only the Wenatchee Valley, but the surrounding areas when we get to the weather forecast, when we get to our cameras around the valley. But we had quite a bit of rain. It wasn't a deluge, but it was plenty for most folks. It's the rainy kind of year, rainy kind of season anyway. But today, lots of sunshine, cool temperatures, windy, very windy, gradual warming trend as we head into the weekend, and then we're going to cloud up and warm up by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday. Forecast details are coming up. So clouds are going to return for the weekend, but temperatures will be above normal. Overnight lows are going to be well below normal. In fact, we could be below the freezing mark overnight tonight. Into Wednesday, we'll have a lot of news. We will have a lot of sports to get to. Kraken can't do any worse than third in their division, but they could actually finish second in their division. They got 2 more games left. They won. They beat Arizona down in Phoenix last night. Highlights of that. In the back half of the program, our good friend Alan Walker. Always good to see Alan. He's going to drop by. He runs the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. They are in the home stretch of their capital funding campaign. They got some federal dollars, they got some state dollars, they got some Washington State, they got some Department of Agriculture dollars, they got some governmental dollars from some local jurisdictions, and now they need private dollars to get out of their ancient and dated and not too functional facilities and get a brand new facility on North Wenatchee Avenue. They need your help. Alan will join me in the back half of the program. Fairly clear skies. It's already getting a little breezy out there. We're at 43 degrees and at 2 minutes after the hour. Let's get going. Let's start our tour around the valley as we dry out from yesterday's rain. Rain totals are pretty impressive. In Wenatchee, the rain gauge is up at Payne-Bowen Memorial Airport. 0.24 inches of rain, just about a quarter of an inch of rain here for the valley on yesterday from midnight to midnight. The big winner, though, is Ephrata. Ephrata got 0.93 inches of rain, almost an inch of rain. And for Ephrata, that's a lot. And that set a new record for April 10th, not surprisingly. Moses Lake got 0.72 inches of rain. It came down pretty good out in the Columbia Basin up north in Omak. You had a third of an inch of rain. Everybody got wet. In fact, the Wenatchee Valley got the least amount of rain in our viewing area, and we still had a lot with 0.24 inches of rain. Sunrise this morning, 6:20. Sunset, 7:44. That buys us 13 hours and 24 minutes of daylight. Again, gaining about 3 minutes and 25 seconds of daylight a day. It happens this time of the year. If you look up at the top of Birch Mountain, you'll notice there's no more snow up there. It's pretty much gone, but a lot of the western foothills still have some patches of snow, especially on the slopes that face to the north. Don't get that direct sunlight. We're off to the Arundel Rock camera. Take a look at beautiful Lake Aniat, nice and placid there. You can see Arundel Rock in the distance. Way off in the distance is Mission Ridge. They're going to be skiing right through the rest of this month. Longest ski season, I think, since like 96 or 97. Now, of course, Mission Ridge, they don't own the property. It's a patchwork of governmental agencies. The Forest Service has some land. The Department of Natural Resources have the land that the actual resort is on for the most part. But they have licensing with those things, but they just can't ski all year round. Eventually, the snow will go away. Good morning to our friends at Mission Ridge way at the top there. Number 1 Canyon is going to check in as we look at the sunrise. That's looking good. That's where all the clouds are left. If you look to the west, there are no clouds. If you look to the east, just a few residual clouds from yesterday's rain event. By the way, our high yesterday, only 51. Our normal high is 60. We've still had a very cool spring so far, but our low was 35, fairly close to normal, but our overnight low is going to get really cool. And to Hay Canyon we go. Haven't used this camera in a while. This is a different look at Kashmir from our Hay Canyon camera. We used this a lot when they were building the Goodwin Bridge, the West Kashmir Bridge, because we could turn it to where the new bridge was going in and watch that baby get built. Boy, that's been a huge thing for the folks in Kashmir. That old Goodwin Bridge, and I didn't like it at all. Good morning to Kashmir, looking down towards the Wenatchee Valley from tip-top of Hay Canyon. A couple of slides to show for you. First of all, the winds today. These are wind gusts, not sustained winds. As you can see, we'll have gusts above 30 miles an hour. And as usual, the places that are prone to windy conditions are going to have windy conditions, specifically the Columbia Basin. So if you're driving a high-profile rig out on I-90, you can get blown around a little bit. And a little bit windy up in the Waterville Plateau. It happens. So it's going to be windy today as those pressure gradients tighten in. It's a cold front that's coming in, and because it's a cold front, it's going to usher in some pretty cold air. Check out the overnight lows forecast for tonight. Right about the freezing mark for the Wenatchee Valley. Look at Winthrop, 20 degrees for the overnight low tonight. Omak will be in the 20s. Republic will be in the teens. Everybody's going to be right hovering or slightly below the freezing mark for the overnight low tonight. Now keep in mind our normal overnight low is 39. We're not going to be anywhere near that, so get ready for some chilly nights heading our way really for most of the week until we get into the weekend. From the National Weather Service, that way if you don't like the weather, you can blame the government. Sunshine but windy today at a high of 54 degrees, or normal high is 60. Another cool one and windy. Quite gusty at times. Sustained winds out of the west about 10 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts later on today at about 30 miles an hour, if not more. The winds will eventually taper off tonight. It'll take its time, but it's going to usher in all that cold air. Look at that overnight low at 31 degrees. A little bit warmer. On Wednesday, we're also going to see just a couple more clouds hanging in. We'll call it partly sunny and a high of 55. Again, chilly Wednesday night, 33 for the overnight low. Thursday, same deal, only more sunshine and a high of 55, 33 for the overnight low. So Wednesday and Thursday are pretty much going to be a repeat of itself with just a few more clouds tomorrow. No clouds in the forecast for Thursday or Friday. Warms us up to 58, still below normal. We'll be at that normal mark by the time we get to Saturday. That's nice, but we'll also see a few more clouds. And then unfortunately, Sunday, although mild, 64 degrees, looks to be pretty cloudy. On Sunday, there'll be a brief high-pressure ridge, but it's not going to be strong enough to keep out another trough of inclement weather heading our way on Sunday and into Monday. All right, you're in the loop of what Mother Nature has plans for us. Now we'll let you know what's going on news-wise when we come back in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can just look time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
What's the best way to attract a wide variety of beautiful birds to your backyard? By offering the birds the right foods in expertly designed bird feeders from Wild Birds Unlimited. Whether you've been feeding the birds for a while or are just getting started, let our backyard bird feeding specialists show you how to add a little joy to your life and make nature a part of every day. Shop now for exclusive bird foods, feeders, hardware, and more. Wild Birds Unlimited. Products designed by experts. Trusted local advice.
I'm here at Boswell's Home Furnishings to announce one of their newest lines of furniture, Builtwell, an amazing local furniture maker in Oregon.
Hi, can I help you?
I was just telling my friends.
About Builtwell? They have exquisite craftsmanship, superior construction. I love their designs. Builtwell is a great addition to the wide selection of quality furniture you'll find here at Boswell's.
Boswell's Furniture on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
"42 degrees in the big city. Quite a bit of sunshine today. Going to be windy all day today. Winds diminish tonight. Very chilly overnight lows for the rest of the week. A gradual warming trend. Then we cloud up and warm up by the time we get to the weekend. It's 9 minutes after the hour. 2 people were killed after a motorcycle crash Saturday night near milepost 1 on Aniat River Road. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies were dispatched shortly after 8 o'clock Saturday night, discovered a single motorcycle and 2 passengers when they arrived on the scene of the collision. 45-year-old Charles D. Morris and his passenger, 34-year-old Tara D. Hughes, both pronounced dead at the scene. Both were identified as residents of Chelan County. Antioch River Road was closed by the Sheriff's Office, Washington State Patrol, and the preliminary investigation has determined that speed of the motorcycle may have been a factor in that collision. When cryptocurrency was a hot new thing, Gigawatt sold itself as a lucrative host site for Bitcoin mining. Well, 5 years after Gigawatt went bankrupt, the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority is redeveloping the former Gigawatt property at Pangbourne Airport Business Park. The 8-acre complex would become a trades district to incubate small businesses and workshops in Gigawatt's former crypto mining sheds. Tenants would have to enter a 5-year program to help develop their business. They would pay a starting rent of 55 cents per square foot. That would increase to 10 cents a square foot per year. The port says it has the state and the federal funding to complete phase 1 of the redevelopment. Design is underway. Construction is expected to start come September. The city of Leavenworth is taking a rejected zoning proposal to the State Growth Management Hearings Board. Back in February, you might remember, Chelan County Commissioners turned down Leavenworth's amendments to its urban growth plan, which would have allowed 8,000 square foot lot sizes in the unincorporated neighborhoods of Leavenworth, which will one day be annexed into the city. The Board of Commissioners rejected those amendments, citing infrastructure concerns and the loss of rural space. But Leavenworth Mayor Carl Floria says the city is in a housing crunch and it needs the amendments to help manage prices and availability. The appeal, filed on Thursday, asks the Growth Management Board to decide whether the county's decision was proper under the state's Growth Management Act. The East Wenatchee Police Department has a new home, and they deserved it too. The agency moved to their new home at the intersection of Simon Street and Rock Island Road. They did that effective last week. Of course, they were in the East Wenatchee City Hall for a long time. Police Chief Rick Johnson says those offices were simply too small for his 30-person department, and the larger headquarters will help the East Wenatchee Police become fully accredited through the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs. Johnson offered our very own Jefferson Robbins a tour of that facility.
The goal when I took over in June of 2020 was within 5 years to be an accredited agency. I think we're on track for that. I've been in contact with WASPIC. We've been talking about where we're at in LEMAP and where we're at working towards accreditation. 2025 is our goal currently, and a big piece of that was the facility. In the facility that we were in, it was so limiting on some of the practices that we could do, whether it was record storage, evidence processing, evidence storage, that we weren't going to meet accreditation standards in that. And that's a big thing to myself and the mayor, is to be able to say, okay, we brought this police department back and we're going to be operating at best practice standards and have the ability to grow with the city's needs as we go here. In June of 2020, when I took over, the city was in the middle of a space needs assessment, and it was with the old public works director, Tom Wacholder, and they were identifying how many square feet did they need to meet the city standards for a 40-year building. And the anticipated growth at that time for East Wenatchee was that within 30 to 40 years that East Wenatchee would be approaching 30,000 residents, and that equaled a 14,600 square foot police department. The cost on that in 2020 was right around $12 million to build that. And so that was what we were working towards, figuring out how that was going to be funded, where it was going to be. In 2021, we discovered this property here that, like I mentioned, was owned by a private citizen, but actually was being leased to several different state agencies, and we were aware this one was coming on the market. The total square footage on this building is 14,600 square feet, and so it is a 40-year building. The building was purchased for $4.2 million, and then what we've done, including furnishings and everything, was a $1 million remodel and outfitting of this building. So we're at 5.2. As it sits. We do need to do some more things to this building eventually. We need to figure out how to get some evidence bays, garage bays onto the outside of this building that can be used for training as well as evidence storage. That would be the next phase that's on this, but there's no plans to do that at this time. That's something that needs to happen in the future as we continue to grow. But the ability for the police department, who's occupying the first floor now, to grow into the second floor is there for this building and will be available to the city.
By the way, that complete behind-the-scenes tour of the new headquarters for the East Wenatchee Police Department with Chief Johnson will air in tomorrow's edition of this very program. Chelan County gained 2 new wolf packs. in 2022 named the Napika and Maverick packs. They are 2 of 8 new wolf packs documented by the Washington State Department of Fish and Wildlife. The department released their Washington Gray Wolf Conservation and Management 2022 annual report last week, and it shows continued growth in wolf population for the 14th consecutive year. The wolves are counted annually. They track them. They use drones and camera surveys, and as of December 31st, 2022, there were 216 wolves and 37 packs. In Washington State, that number is up from 2021's count of 206 wolves in 33 packs. That's what's making news just about 16 minutes after the hour. It's going to be another day of news gathering, because that's what they do. Thank goodness they know what they're doing, with Jefferson and Jordan and the whole crew. And with the preview of the Tuesday night news, the anchor Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, lots of wind with some showers today, and then much warmer temperatures expected by Friday and into the upcoming weekend. I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Granstrom has the latest on area high school sports, as well as the Kraken and the Mariners. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Appreciate it, Grant. And don't forget, you're not locked into those times. If you want to watch the news on our YouTube page, we have it up and running at 5 o'clock. Same deal with our homepage, ncwlife.com, and on our Facebook page. And at the bottom of the screen is how you get a hold of us. You're more than welcome to do that. When we come back, Wild hockey, Kraken hockey, and the Seattle Mariners really need to avoid playing extra inning games. Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
I was born after my parents moved to the United States and was raised to value hard work and great leadership. My family is proud to see me working for an organization that respects a work-life balance while being committed to providing access to education for all children in our community. It's easy to come to work every day when I feel respected, trusted, and supported, and I know that the values of North Central ESD align with my personal values.
By working together as a community, we can all play a part in promoting children's well-being and strengthening families. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Shalane Douglas CASA is dedicated to supporting families and reducing the risk of child abuse and neglect. Join us in our community-wide Pinwheel project and help keep kids safe. If you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, please call 1-866-363-4276.
19 minutes after the hour, the schedule is out for the BCHL Interior Division's semifinal series. The Wenatchee Wild will take on Penticton in the second round of the playoffs. Of course, they finished off Cranbrook in 6 games on Easter Sunday. The V's will host the first 2 games of the series at the South Okanagan Event Center Friday and Saturday. Both of those games at 7 p.m. And then games 3 and 4 right here in the big city at the Town Toyota Center on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Both of those will start at 6 o'clock. Now, the 2 teams met 5 times during the regular season, the Wild handing Penticton one of their 4 losses in December. Yeah, we beat them in our barn, 2-1 back on December 9th. The V's dominated, by the way, the other 4 games. They outscored Wenatchee in the series 23-9. What a difference the season can make for the Seattle Kraken. They went from 27 wins a year ago and 60 points in their first NHL season to winning for the 46th time last night, and they got 100 points on the year. The game down in Phoenix saw Arizona score first, but then the Kraken took over in the second and cruised from there.
To the line, Schultz. Now Tolvanen trying to work it in front. Wenberg. To the line, Schultz.
McCann is so active on his left side.
To the front, they score. Bjorkstrand rips one home, and it's 1-1. Across. A look here, out high for Moser, but it's denied. Schultz is out, and he's in. And he scores. Flips it along, out of the zone it goes. McCann, speaking of former Penguins. Little drop, Beniers is in, he scores. Matty Beniers, it's 3-1. McCann's got it. Out high, Schultz. Back to McCann, he curls. Wrister scores! And that's number 40 for Jared McCann.
It's obviously nice, something that I've worked for a long time, just to earn a spot. That puts me in a position to be able to score. We have a lot of guys to thank, for my success in this team. Obviously, Matty and Ebbs, guys I've been playing with all year, so it's been good.
40 goals for Jared McCann, 100 points for the Seattle Kraken. Dave Haxtell said Jared and the team should be proud.
Everybody knows that that's a nice marker for our group, and we want them to be proud of that. That's a hell of a number. A lot of these guys that were here through the year last year, to be here a year later, they need to take a lot of credit for that. They should feel good about that. That being said, like I said, the group took it in stride. We've got 2 more games to go here in the regular season, and we got the opportunity to get ready for the first round of the playoffs.
Now it's off to beautiful Las Vegas, taking on the Golden Knights tonight at 7 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest, and they wrap up the regular season with a home game against the Golden Knights, and then the playoffs begin. For the second consecutive game, the Seattle Mariners were walked off in extra innings. They lost, of course, 7-6 in 12 innings to the Guardians on Sunday. Then they were walked off by the Cubs last night, 3-2. The Mariners trailed 2-1 in the top of the 9th inning. Jared Kelenic put the game into extra innings. Check out the bomb that he hit.
Kelenic, a high fly ball. Right field. If this is fair, it's gone. It's plenty fair. It's plenty gone. Off the scoreboard. Jared Kelenic tags his first of the season. It's a game-tying 9th inning home run at Wrigley.
It has been hot. We mentioned how well he was swinging the bat in Cleveland. Comes off the bench and hits a home run to tie it up in the 9th. Crushed it. Middle in and hammered. He knew it. Base hit. Nico rocks it off. Cubs win. Hugs. 3-2 in 10 your final.
Thinking Thompson gets out of the mess. Nico delivers. Right man in the right place when you need contact. Sing the song, everybody.
Yeah, sing this song.
Manager Scott Service says the Mariners continue to look for the big hit late in games for victories, even though it didn't happen yesterday.
We threw the ball really well. Our pitching was outstanding. Luis Castillo continues to do what we've seen him do so far this year, and really since he's had a Marin Union, and the guys out of the bullpen were really good. It's just been, last couple of days executing pickup play at second base. We haven't made the play in the game, and it's led to us losing the ball game. But a huge hit by Jared Kelenic tonight. Great to see him continue to roll it offensively. We didn't get a ton going offensively. We had some chances there with the bases loaded and couldn't execute or get the runs in. So disappointing to extra inning loss again. It's our 3rd one of the year, and I think all 3 of them we just haven't made a play defensively. That's ended up costing us the game. So. Got to come back at him tomorrow. Still got a chance to win the series. We're playing good ball. Just you got to execute, make those plays late in games. Is something that we're very accustomed to doing. We just haven't done it, and it's cost us games here.
Well, we'll try again today. It's a 4:40 first pitch. Cubs and the Mariners. Chris Flexen will start for the Mariners. The game will be broadcast on Root Sports Northwest. Speaking of broadcasts, what are you doing Friday night? I'm working, but I'm looking forward to this. The Wenatchee Panthers, Eastmont Wildcats, boys soccer. In Big 9 action, live, pregame at 6:50. 2 of my favorite people couldn't make it. So instead, Sebastian Moraga and Matt Weisen will have the call, lead off the field at the Apple Bowl on Friday night. To the Les Schwab Prep boys soccer scoreboard from Monday, Cascade clipped Omax 7-1. Cheney shut out Moses Lake 2-0. Coming up today, Ephrata visits Ellensburg at 4 o'clock in soccer. Okanagan will host Pateros. Tonasket travels to Orville at 4:30. Davis entertains Eastmont at 5. Quincy's at Cashmere. Bridgeport visits Manson at 6. And Wenatchee will host Eisenhower under the lights, 7 o'clock tonight at Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. A busy baseball schedule starts at 3:30 in Peshastin. Cascade hosting Moses Lake Christian in the first of a doubleheader. 4 o'clock games have Davis at Eastmont, Wenatchee's at Ike, and Ephrata plays at Tri-Cities Prep. At 4:30, it's Cashmere at Quincy. Omak hosts Chelan. Okanagan travels to Tonasket. Liberty Bell hosts Brewster. And Riverside Christian at Pateros. The area fast pitch softball schedule busy. Elmira, Cooley, Heartline, Simon, and Garfunkel will be hosting Lake Roosevelt. That's a doubleheader. That gets going at 2 o'clock. Eastmont welcomes Chiawana for 2 today at Sterling Fourplex at 4 o'clock. Wenatchee has 1 game at Walla Walla Point Park against Ike. Sila's at Ephrata for the first of 2 games at 4 o'clock. The 4:30 games have Cashmere at Quincy. Omak hosts Chelan. Okanagan takes on Tonasket. And Brewster visits Liberty Bell. And finally, Wenatchee and Eastmont go at it again in tennis. The Wenatchee Racket and Athletic Club this afternoon, 3 o'clock. Moses Lake is at Eisenhower at 3 in tennis. Prosser will host Ephrata at 4. And Quincy visits Cashmere. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. On this Tuesday, the 11th day of April, I had 6 obscure holidays I could have chosen from. You can celebrate any of these if you want. It's National Pet Day. That's kind of a big holiday. I'm going to shy away from that. National Barber Shop Quartet Day for a guy who loves music, and I'm not a big fan of that. National Submarine Day. National Cheese Fondue Day. National Be Nice to a Lawyer Day. But no, today we're celebrating the 8-track. Yes, the 8-track. And I'm going to date myself, but the car I had in high school had an 8-track player in it. This is before cassettes kind of took over from the 8-track. Of course, cassettes replaced the 8-track, and then CDs replaced everything, and now LPs are coming back. Very hard to play an album in your car. The founder of the Lear Jet Corporation came up with the 8-track, Bill Lear. He developed the 8-track, but he didn't make them. He got together with Ampex, which makes audio tape, and Motorola, which makes players, and RCA, which made 8-track players. Then he got together with Ford and GM and Chrysler and said, this is a perfect, compact way to play your own music in your car. But, you know, in the 60s and 70s, it was just the radio. I mean, that was your option for listening to music as you drove. But, hey, you can listen to your own music whenever you want if you have an 8-track player in your car. And they started putting 8-track players in automobiles. In fact, in 1965, Lincoln, Mustang, and Thunderbird, all the models, you had 8-track players as an option. And yes, I had an 8-track player. I had an 8-track player that recorded. I could record my own 8-tracks at home and play them in my car. The last commercially released 8-track, Fleetwood Mac's Greatest Hits in 1988. The 8-track, gone by the wayside. Yeah, join the Columbia Record Club. 7 8-tracks for a penny. And then we'll take all your money. What a scam that was. 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history, 334 years ago, we're going way back, April 11th, 1689, William and Mary were crowned joint sovereigns of Great Britain. Now, of course, they just have a king who's in charge, is Charles, or a queen, his mom before that, Elizabeth II. There's just one sovereign that runs the entire British Empire, kind of. But they were joint sovereigns. They said, you rule together. William and Mary, yes, they were husband and wife, and they were first cousins. It was 1689. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Happy 147th birthday to the Elks. Remember, the Elks used to be huge here in town. Almost everybody I knew who was a male in 21 was a member of the Elks right down the road from us. The Elks Club in Wenatchee has been gone for years. The Elks Club, founded on this date. In 1876, the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks. It was founded as a private club in New York City to get around New York City's liquor laws. Their taverns and bars could be only open from certain hours to certain hours, but if you had a private club and you got a liquor license, you can be open as long as you want. The Elks were restricted to males only and white males only until 1973. And the Elks Club is, it's doing this like a lot of clubs are. In 1976, at their height, the Elks had 1,611,000 members and over 2,200 lodges. Now they have less than that, half that. There's about 750,000 members of the Elks Club now, and they have about 1,500 lodges. They're having a hard time keeping the Elks Club going. It's 147 years old today. 72 years ago today, April 11th, 1951, Truman fired MacArthur. This was major controversy. A bunch of congressmen, Republicans mostly, wanted to impeach Truman. They had no reason to. They loved MacArthur and they didn't like Truman. But, you know, Doug was getting into some pretty serious, he was just being insubordinate, and Truman said, I'm the commander-in-chief, you're gone, Doug. MacArthur came back, did an extended speaking tour to talk about his political beliefs and what was going on in Korea, and it was big at the time, and it kind of petered out. Doug MacArthur fired on the state 72 years ago today. Historians say it was the right thing to do. And finally, 47 years ago today, there it is, the very first Apple computer, the Apple I, designed and hand-built by Steve Wozniak. They had no money. Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak had no money in 1976. He built it by hand. Steve Wozniak sold his calculator. He had a HP 65 calculator, which in 1976 was top of the line. Wozniak sold his calculator for $500. Steve Jobs sold his VW microbus for $200. So together with $700, Steve Wozniak built that, the first Apple computer. From those humble beginnings comes this. 32 minutes after the hour. A couple of birthdays. Supreme Court's been in the news quite a bit for not the best reasons. Charles Evans Hughes was considered one of the best Supreme Court justices of all time. He was the 44th Secretary of State, was considered very good as a Secretary of State. He was the governor of New York. He was an Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court. And if you can believe this, in 1916, he stepped down from the Supreme Court of the United States to run for the presidency as a Republican. Can you imagine that happening today? He lost to Woodrow Wilson, and then later on, he became the Chief Justice of the United States, and a well-respected one at that. Charles Evans Hughes, heavenly birthday to him, born in 1862. Ethel Kennedy, 95 years old today, the widow of Robert Kennedy, gave birth to 11 children. She outlived two of them. Two of her children have since passed away. Her youngest daughter, Rory, was born after her husband Robert was assassinated in 1968, lives full-time at the Kennedy compound. Ethel Kennedy is 95 years old today, and happy birthday to my brother. He's 60, well, he knows how old he is. Eric. Enjoy them Social Security checks, buddy. We love you. 33 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. Mike Magnotti's got an opinion. I think it's about self-awareness or something, or how wonderful he is. I can't remember what it is. And then Alan Walker, the Executive Director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, will join me again. We love Alan. We love the good work that the CDC that they do. I don't know the acronym anymore. They need your help. Alan will explain why when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Shoot, I think I left my keys in the kitchen. Can you grab them?
Yep.
Find them?
What's this?
It's a locking bag. It keeps Grandma's medication safe.
But I could just take it.
Well, for one thing, it locks. And if it were gone, I know there's a problem.
Huh. Well played.
Help prevent opioid misuse before it starts. Visit getthefactsrx.com.
I had had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether. We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a four-letter word.
I think we should hire more people.
Doc, I'm late for a meeting. I'm thinking of starting my own practice.
Do it. Too much capital.
We need a warehouse.
I can't imagine how we do that.
We should knock that wall down and expand.
Do it. There's always another wall beyond the wall.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, many times somebody has said something to me, usually something critical, and I get defensive. I'm sure I'm the only one. Now, what I've tried to learn to do when this happens is to stop and think. Why am I getting defensive? Is there some truth in what I'm hearing? Now, often this is the case, I got to admit. I get defensive because something about what I'm being told is accurate. And, I think I should do this more often, reflect when I get defensive, when I'm criticized and react that way. Maybe instead of defending myself, I should stop and think, is there a chance for correction here and doing myself some self-improvement? Maybe there is. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can move this one.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Getting ready for the boating season is easy with the help of Bob File Boats and Motors. With marine technology changing fast, the service department stays up to date with the newest developments and factory certifications. They have what it takes to make boating fun and hassle-free for the season. Speaking of hassle-free, now's the time to get your boat ready for summer. Remember that starter that wouldn't start or trailer lights that didn't work? Don't be left on shore. Call Bob File's service department today and get ready for summer fun.
By working together as a community, we can all play a part in promoting children's well-being and strengthening families. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Shalane Douglas CASA is dedicated to supporting families and reducing the risk of child abuse and neglect. Join us in our community-wide Pinwheel project and help keep kids safe. If you suspect a child is being abused or neglected, please call 1-866-363-4276.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at MerryMaidsOfWenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. So relax, it's done.
Welcome back to the program. Our good friends at the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, no stranger to this show. We went and visited Alan and his fine staff in January to talk about empty bowls, which was another huge success. Yes, it's a fundraiser, but this is perhaps the most important meeting, get-together conversation, if you will, that Alan that I've yet had, because they were this far away from getting their badly needed own campus. They're spread out all over the place. They're facilities that they're currently renting and they don't own, or they don't work anymore. They need a new home. They're almost there. And with your help, they can get across the finish line. Welcome, please, the Executive Director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Alan Walker. Hello, my friend.
Good afternoon, good morning, good day.
I saw you at the big to-do that the Wenatchee World did. I think it was last time I saw you. What certain family members were being needlessly awarded with stuff that they didn't
adorned with
deserve.
more awards, so yes.
Yeah, but I had a chance to talk to you about empty bowls, and it went well. I thought we'd get caught up.
It did go very well. We went through the paintings, and then actually this Saturday, people get to come pick up their bowl and have the soup dinner. So we'll be doing that at Wenatchee High School this Saturday from 5 to 7.
And everybody had a good time?
Everybody had a good time. We had, hundreds of bowls, somewhere close to 500 bowls painted, I think, over the course of 2 or 3 paintings, and everybody enjoys it. We even had the Apple Blossom Royal Court down painting their own bowls. So yeah.
And some of these bowls, these people are artistic. They're good. They're really good.
Yes, really good. Really good. And then there are others besides myself. One gentleman comes in and he is painting the depictions of all the U.S. presidents. And does yeah.
Including Chester Alan Arthur, my personal favorite.
Your personal favorite, and everybody else's too.
As you all know.
Yes.
I love the mutton chops. I'm just one of those kind of guys. So let's get right to the nitty-gritty. $3 million from the feds, courtesy of Congresswoman Dr. Kim Schreier, was able to get that appropriated in the budget. Mike Steele, who represents us in the 12th District, was able to get the state to fork over $1 million. Department of Agriculture forked over about $400,000. The various governmental entities chipped in a little bit. So the kitty got built up, and now that's it for governmental and taxpayer funding. Now the final push to get the last $650,000 or so?
Yes, the last $650,000, give or take a little bit of change there, but we are within 12% of reaching our $6 million goal.
And let's talk about the need of this. The need is acute, and there's a lot of reasons why the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council needs a campus of their own, and Alan, I'll let you talk about that.
Sure. So right now we're scattered around in 4 different locations, 3 of which we rent. 1 we do own, our main office building, but 3 other locations we rent, and we've been renting for a number of years, and it's just grown more and more difficult to operate, and really our food distribution center really can't function to its full capacity anymore. The space that we have is just really limited, and that was really what prompted this whole process, was to find a new location for our food distribution, and it just kind of all came together where, hey, we have an opportunity to bring everything together and provide additional services to our community too.
Not only additional services, but elongated services, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. We, of course, went down to the facility currently on North Wenatchee Avenue, not far from Denny's, and it is small.
It is.
It is small, and infrastructurally speaking, it wasn't working anymore. I'm talking specifically about the walk-in freezer and the walk-in refrigerator to keep fresh fruits and vegetables fresh for as long as you possibly can. Kept breaking down, and wasn't big enough, all those problems.
Yes. Numerous repair issues on the units right now. You know, they're older than we've been in there. We've been in there for 25 years, and so these units are just, they've gone beyond their life expectancy, so to speak. But we have brand new units ready to install in the new facility, so we're excited.
Talk about the prospective new site. It's a sizable building behind Jet Pro Auto Wash, basically, in North Wenatchee. As we throw up the artistic rendering of what you hope to be moving into in the not too distant future, there it is. Talk about this building and why it works so well for you.
So the building is comprised of 6 or 7 different individual buildings, kind of all linked together. So that aspect is nice. Primarily a warehouse and office setup currently, which is what we need. We need warehouse space and office space, so it lends itself well that way. And there are 2 buildings that we will not be utilizing, which we'll be able to rent out. And we have people interested in renting those from us. So that's nice from an income perspective. We'll be able to generate income from those and cover our ongoing maintenance and operation costs on the property itself.
You were busy before COVID, and then during COVID you got really busy, and then that didn't tail off, did it?
That has not tailed off. In fact, it just almost continues to grow. Our numbers, especially people looking for food assistance, continues to grow each month, and the need is certainly not diminishing.
So I know I've asked you this question before, but for those people who may have missed the last couple of times we talked, where does your food come from that you have now?
Sure. So a variety of different locations or sources. Of course, a fair amount of it is government surplus funding, or foods, not funding, government surplus food that we receive out of Second Harvest over in Spokane, and then also Northwest Harvest over in Renton area, in the Seattle area. And then we also do grocery rescues. So we go around to the local grocery stores on a daily basis and gather up items that are too near to the end of their shelf life for them to keep on display. And so we gather up those items. Then we have the green bag program where people can donate food and we'll pick that up from them. And then also gleaning and purchasing from local farmers. So we have roughly 60 local farmers that we work with on either going into their fields and harvesting what they're unable to harvest, or we will purchase product from them as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of local farmers that say, hey, I got too many potatoes, come and get them.
Exactly,
as
yes.
long as you're willing to show up with the station wagon, you're good to go.
You're good to go, yes. And so we show up and load up those extra potatoes, those extra apples, and deliver them back and kind of repackage them, if you will, and get them out to people.
And you mentioned the only building of the three that they use, that they own, is your office on Lewis Street. Even that is terribly inadequate now.
It is. We've been in there since 1965, so we've been in there for a while, and the staff dynamics and services have certainly grown over the last 57 years.
And that's the biggest problem, because even though, and we've talked about this before, the need of the services that the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council does is not going to go away. If anything, it's going to continue to increase.
Unfortunately, we would like to say it's going to go away, but as the population continues to grow, as we've seen it, since Wenatchee was formed, just proportionately, we have a certain population that is going to continue to need a little extra help.
And as we know before, as we visited with Alan at his campuses, a lot of the people who work there are people who have benefited from the various programs from the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council.
Absolutely. We have a lot of folks that have come through our organization looking for a little bit of assistance and then end up getting stabilized and are ready to be employed, and not just with our organization but with countless businesses throughout the region.
Let's talk about the fundraising campaign. As I mentioned already, they got $3 million from the federal government, courtesy of Kim Schreier's office, and then Mike Steele was able to get $1 million of appropriation from the state. That got you to $4 million. $400,000 for the Department of Agriculture got you to $4,400,000. And the cities of East Wenatchee, the cities and the government entities all chipped in a certain amount?
Most of them have, not all of them, but most the county has both made a contribution towards it. Some of the local cities have as well. And so we have a couple of cities we're still working with, but these have expressed interest. And so we hope that they'll come through. But this is really when we're coming back to the community and saying, okay, we've done a lot of the work so far, raising 5.3 plus on a $6 million project, and we're coming to the community and saying, hey, can you help us out here a little bit, get us across the finish line? This isn't something that we do on a regular basis. We've never done a capital budget campaign, and probably won't do another one anytime soon.
So this rolled out about a week ago. How we doing so far?
So far, we've had a really positive response from the community. Donations are starting to come in, so it's been good, positive response from the community. We just want to keep that momentum going. We'd really like to have this all done in the next 60 to 90 days.
And there's a certain sense of urgency because the $400,000 from the Department of Agriculture has strings attached.
It does. Those funds need to be utilized by June 30th. So we've got to get into, we're closing early part of May on the property, and we need to get in there and start doing some renovations for the food side of the operation as quickly as possible.
We're going to throw up the QR code, so grab your phone, folks, and we'll leave this up on the screen for a good 30 seconds or so. So you're good to go. There you go, and it works because I already did it.
Good.
That's
good.
the QR code. So hold your camera up to that, and when they do that, what's going to happen?
That'll take them directly to the donation page, and they can put in their name there, their amount that they're interested in. They can reach out to them. They can call us as well. Whatever works easiest.
And once the money is there, you're going great guns, right? I mean, you're gonna go right at this, and you want this whole thing done by the end of this year.
That's what we would like to do. We want to have it done by December of this year. We don't have final. Once you go out to bid, you never know for sure with contractors for the renovation side of things. But if we can get it all wrapped up by the end of this year, or certainly the first quarter of 24, that's our plan.
Outside of appearing on this highly rated local television show,
Yes.
I know you're doing other media outlets. Rufus, I think, had a fantastic column in the Wenatchee World that called attention to your plight. Are you going to do like the service clubs and everything? How you going out? It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy ask because everybody's out there with their hat in hand.
Everybody is out there with their hat in hand. The local Rotary clubs have all of them have already contributed. So the local Rotary clubs have been great, as well as Lions Club. Lions Club made a very generous donation to us, as well as the Service Rotary Club. So we've got to the service clubs already. Yeah. So now we're just really hoping that the public will be able to help us out.
And again, this is the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council. It's not just the people in need in the Wenatchee Valley. It's the Chelan and Douglas County area, including the outlying rural areas.
Yes, we provide services to every community, every rural part of our two-county area, and some programs even beyond into other counties as well. But certainly every corner of Chelan or Douglas County, anybody is eligible, and we go out to the people. We don't wait for them to come to us.
When this deal is done, and I said when, not if, because we're going to do it, we're going to get there. What does that do to your services? I mean, how does that change how you operate on a day-to-day basis?
Me personally, it's really a huge improvement just having all of our staff into one location. It's difficult having staff at other locations and just keeping that communication and that culture, if you will, that you try to develop in an organization.
How many times have you driven your truck from Lewis Street to North Wenatchee Avenue?
Exactly, yes.
Probably drives itself.
It drives itself at this point. So yeah, just from that standpoint. And then also this facility will allow us to extend services to the folks that we're not able to do. We'll have a food pantry on site that'll be open multiple days during the week. And then also a commercial kitchen that will be available for local farmers if they want to do value-added products, bring in their raw products and convert them into something else. If they need a kitchen facility to do that in, we can offer that as well.
So more food, expanded hours, a different way of going about distributing the food, that grocery store kind of setup where you just kind of go in and do your thing.
Right, yes. And we hope to have really kind of 24/7 access for folks, just knowing that schedules don't always align with when we can be open. And so around the food portion of it, we're looking at exterior locker boxes, if you will. That'll basically, people can go online and place their order, and we can fill that box and they can pick it up at their convenience.
One more thing before we cut Alan loose. He's a busy guy. If you spend any time in the Wenatchee, East Wenatchee area or in the Chelan-Douglas County area, you'll see the vans driving around with the Chelan-Douglas Community Action Council logo on the side of it, and the guys with their trucks and their tools, and they're going, what are they doing? And I thought they just did food, but that's not the case.
No, we do weatherization projects as well, and so we get into 25 or 30 homes every year, installing new windows and doors and insulation and repairing heating systems and floor covering if it needs to be done for some folks that have health issues and they want to get rid of the carpet, and we can go in there and put some solid surface flooring down. So lots of different projects.
Again, the $6 million capital campaign is almost there. They need, I'm doing the math, about 12% more?
12%.
That's not very much. We can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. I know we can. Yep.
And if you don't have one of these things for the QR code, just get a hold of Alan, go to their website, CD, I want to say .org. It's your acronym .org,
CDCAC.org.
Okay. And you can donate that way, or you can just
call us up.
Call them up, whatever it takes. Let's get you across the finish line, because there is a sense of urgency here. Yeah. We don't want to put it off any more than we have to, because, hey, this has been a dated facility for 25 years. We don't want to be, I don't want to have to come back and talk to you 50 years from now, Alan, when I'm 108 and you're 108.
Yes, we'll both be there. So you can also just mail a check in, 620 Lewis Street, right here in Wenatchee.
And it's something else too, and we need to point this out. You mentioned that you're going to have a couple of spots to rent for prospective tenants, so that's a source of income. Also, this whole thing comes together. You can move out of your Lewis organization and sell that campus.
And sell that campus,
right.
yes.
So it's win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win-win.
It is, yeah. It's a win all the way around.
I think I just pulled something.
Yeah.
Alan Walker from Chelan Douglas Community Action Council. Again, donate, folks. And if you didn't get that QR code or didn't get any of that information, you're busy writing stuff down, just email me. I'll make sure you get the information off to Alan Walker. It's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well.
Say hi to your lovely wife.
I will do that.
She's getting towards retirement age, isn't she?
She keeps talking about that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I keep saying, no, just keep working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to see you, Alan.
Good to see you as well.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill, located in East Wenatchee. Highlander Golf Course has added 2 state-of-the-art full-swing simulators. Food and drink service is available from our full-service bar and grill, offering breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Indoor and outdoor seating available. Call Shalane, our on-site coordinator, to schedule your special event.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to experience Blueberry Hills. Of course, the food is fabulous, like our cheese splints, our famous French dip, our legendary Eggs Benedict, and unforgettable burgers. But we're more than just great food. People come from all over the world to experience what's been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today.
Yet another beautiful view from our Wenatchee Heights camera, switching over to the Hay Canyon camera as we look out over Cashmere on this fairly mild morning, 43 degrees outside of our studios. Ain't going to warm up very much, and it's going to be quite windy today. We have a couple of slides we wanted to show for you, fed to us from the National Weather Service. First of all, windy today. Those pressure gradients are going to tighten up pretty good. It is a cold front that's making its way through the Wenatchee Valley. The rain is gone now. It's all off into the Spokane, Idaho Panhandle area. So we're done with the rain, and we got quite a bit of it. We had a quarter of an inch of rain in the Wenatchee Valley yesterday. And if you're just joining us, Ephrata got almost an inch of rain, and Moses Lake got 3/4 of an inch of rain yesterday. A lot of rain out in the Columbia Basin. No rain today, but lots of wind. That's your peak wind gusts this afternoon. Sustained winds are going to be right around 15 to 20 miles an hour. And as I mentioned, it is a cold front. That means the overnight lows are going to get downright chilly. We could be below freezing tonight in the Wenatchee Valley. Don't see that too often in the middle of April. And look how cold it's going to be to the north of us. It's going to get all the way down to 20 overnight tonight in Winthrop, and it's going to be in the 20s in Omak. Republic will be in the teens. Everybody's going to get cold with this cold air seeping in and unfortunately hanging around just a little bit. From the National Weather Service, lots of sunshine today. That's not the problem, but the wind is going to be kicking around a little bit. West wind about 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts above 30 at times. And that below normal temperature of 54. Our normal high is 60. And it's going to be cool tonight. Now, the wind will be dying down to the overnight hours, but look at that overnight low, 31. It's in our wheelhouse. Just a few clouds fighting with the sun. The clouds will get the upper hand tomorrow, 55. Lots of sunshine Thursday and a high of 55. Still below normal. Closer to normal on Friday with a high of 58. Now, we're going to get warm back up to right around the normal mark on Saturday and Sunday. But unfortunately, the trade-off is we're going to have some clouds. And that's it for us. Have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.